Today we are going to be discussing about the special provisions for landlords who are non-resident Indians for getting their properties vacated from their tenants. A person, a non-resident Indian, who owns a residential or a commercial property in Punjab, under the special laws for non-resident Indians, under the Punjab Rent Act, can get his property vacated from a tenant. He needs to establish that he is the owner of the property. He needs to establish that the property was given on rent. We must be able to establish a landlord-tenant relationship to come within the purview of this provision. He needs to show that he has a bona fide need or he wants to use the property for his personal need and requires it for personal necessity. Before this Punjab Rent Act, there was a special provision under the section 13B where a person who was a non-resident Indian could get his property vacated from a tenant if he required the property for his personal need. There have been plethora of judgments, there have been gamut of orders by the Supreme Court, the High Courts, the Punjab and Haryana High Court, where the judgments have been totally in favor of landlords who are non-resident Indians and require the property back for their personal need. Now let's say there is a person who has 4 properties. The courts do not question if you are seeking eviction of one property and which property are you seeking. The courts have stated that the landlord has the liberty to decide that which property that he wants for himself. Maybe you have 4 properties and you've given all the 4 properties on rent and you decide you only want to get this one property back from the tenant. Yes, you can decide for yourself which property you want. The tenant cannot come to the court and question that he has 3 other properties and he's only wanting this property back from him. The courts, the law permits you to choose the property you want to get back. But yes, this is a once in a lifetime provision you can use. And also, once you have taken back the property under the special provision, you can neither rent it nor sell it for a stipulated period of time. Generally, people feel that, let's get this property vacated and we can sell it immediately. No. Once you are using this provision, a special provision for the non-resident Indians under this act, you cannot sell or give the property immediately on lease. You have to retain it for your personal use because you've mentioned in the court, when we are going to the court, we are saying that you require it for your personal need. Henceforth, you will have to retain it. Do not take advantage of this provision thinking that you will get the property vacated and you will sell it off. Or maybe you have a better tenant who's going to pay you higher rent. No, you cannot do that. Therefore, the provision under the Rent Act is so favorable to non-resident Indians, provided they use it in a proper manner.